Hi, I'm Tammy, and welcome to this Vinyasa flow practice for grounding and setting an intention for your day, or maybe even your week. So let's settle in on our mat together and get into your comfortable seat. Take a moment to feel the ground beneath you, supporting you. Feel free to close your eyes if that's what is comfortable for you. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Another inhale and exhale, releasing your shoulders and let your body relax even more. On our next inhale, whatever word or phrase is coming to mind for you today, for your intention, allow that to start to integrate into your body. No judgment about what word is coming up. No second guessing yourself. Whatever came to mind first, allow that to start to just really seep into your body so that you feel it on every cell. And we'll spend this time together incorporating it more into your body. As you inhale, bring your hands up to meet overhead. Exhale down through the center. Again, bringing your hands up. Inhale, pause at your heart center, thinking about that word or phrase. And bring your hands down. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down. Last time, inhaling, bringing your hands up to meet overhead. Exhale, once again, pause at heart center. And just take a moment here to breathe in and release through your exhale out. Let's come around into tabletop. So bringing your hands onto your mat underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Your feet are on the ground. You can even pat them on the ground, using your hands to support you. Just breathe here for a moment. On your next inhale, lift your head up and drop your belly. Exhale, drop your head down and arch your back, bringing your belly in. Let's do that a few times. Inhale in, dropping your belly, raising your head up. Exhale, arching your back, dropping your head. Inhale up. Exhale, arch your back. Inhale up. Exhale, arching your back. And then release back into a neutral tabletop position. Let's move to our rib cage, focusing on our ribs, creating this circle. So arching your back, bringing your hips over to, or your ribs over to your right, down and to your left, and just creating this nice circle. Inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down. One more time in this direction, inhaling up and exhaling down. And now reverse the direction. We'll do it in this direction for a few rotations as we are warming up our body, warming up our spine, bringing movement to our body, getting grounded in our body. And then go ahead and pause. Look over your left shoulder and push your left hip out a little bit. So you're creating almost this little C shape in your spine. So looking over your left shoulder, even glancing back to your left hip as it's pushed out. Your hands are still firmly planted, supporting you. Your feet are planted the tops of your feet planted on the ground, supporting you. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right side. So looking over your right shoulder, pushing your right hip out, creating this nice stretch. You might feel the stretch in a lot of places in your body as we move our body into this shape. And inhale back to center. On your next inhale, raise your right hand up and your left leg up. Pause here for a moment, letting your left arm support you and your right leg support you. Left toes pointing down. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, bring your elbow to meet your knee and exhale back out. Inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale out. One more time. Inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale out. And go ahead and drop your right hand and your left knee back down. Go ahead and wiggle it out. Sit back if you need to. And come back into tabletop. Now let's do the other side. So lifting your left arm up and your right leg up so they are parallel to the ground. Inhaling and exhaling. Your right toes pointing down, foot flexed, so it's still active. Inhale, bringing your elbow to knee. Exhale out. Inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale out. Inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale out. And go ahead and release your hand and your knee back down to the ground. Again, if you need to wiggle anything out or sit back, please feel free to do that. You can come into child's pose at any time that you need during the practice. Honor what your body is telling you that it needs. Come back into tabletop, raising your right arm up to the sky and then threading the needle. So you're bringing your right hand down and under your left arm, raising it back up to the sky. Exhaling your right hand down under your arm, your left arm, raising your hand back up to the sky. This time when you bring your right hand down, plant your right arm along the floor and drop your right ear down. Make sure your hips are still square. If you'd like, you can bring your left hand forward, or you can even create a little bind here. We'll just be here for a moment. Breathe into that. If you've created a bind, go ahead and release it, bringing your left arm back up to the sky, placing it down next to your face, and lifting your right arm back up to the sky, and then plant it down so you're back in tabletop now. Now it's time to do that on the other side. So lifting your left arm up to the sky, exhaling it down under your right arm. Inhale your left arm up to the sky, exhale down through the right. Inhale up to the sky. This time when you exhale, go ahead and plant your left arm on the ground. Placing your left ear on the ground, making sure your hips are square. Again, if you'd like, you can bring your right arm forward, or you can create a little bind here. Checking on your hips to make sure that they're square and have it jutted out to one side or the other. Let your head relax onto the ground for this moment. And your next inhale, if you've created the spine, bring your right arm back up to the sky, plant it on the ground, bringing your left hand back up to the sky, and then plant it down so we're back in tabletop position. Take a moment here to breathe. Wiggle things out if you want. Again, feel free to go into child's pose if you need a moment. And then placing our hands more toward the top of our mat, curling our toes under. We're going to come up into down dog. So lifting your hips up to the sky, your ears near your shoulders, relaxing your head, bringing your chest and your towards your thighs. Your toes are planted, but your heels are most likely up. They won't come to meet the mat. Have a nice, at least gentle bend in your knees, but whatever bend in your knees feels most comfortable for you. Make sure your hands are still firmly planted and supporting you, that you can feel each finger on the mat. Breathe into this. And your next inhale, come forward into plank. If you need to drop to your knees, that's okay too. Take a moment here to inhale and exhale. Then your next inhale, come back into downward dog. Exhale, forward to plank. Let's do that a few times. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, plank. Last time, inhale, downward dog. And exhale, plank. Feel free, if you need, to come down to your knees for a little break in child's pose. Releasing your forehead to the ground. And we will all meet back in downward facing dog. From here, look to the top of your mat, and we're going to make our way forward to the top of our mat. So you can just take a few steps, or if you need to lift your hands up, that's okay. We'll all meet at the top of our mat in forward fold, with at least a gentle bend in your knees so you're not locking out your knees. Release it down. Let your body just hang. And your next inhale, halfway lift, so hands on shins, flat back. Your neck is straight and you're just looking down. Inhale, release into forward fold. And exhale, let's bring that all the way up into Tadasana, our mountain pose, bringing our hands up overhead and then meeting at heart center. Taking a moment here to breathe, to pause. If you'd like, you can even place your hands on your heart. Feel the beating of your heart. Remember that word or phrase that you are using to ground into and to set an intention for your day and your week. Bring that to mind. On your next inhale, we're going to step our right foot back into high lunge. So with our left foot still at the top of our mat, step our right foot back and just settle into a high lunge here. So your left knee is bent, but it's not coming out over your ankle. You still want to see your foot, your toes, and you're on your back right toes. Hips square to the front of the mat. Bring your hands to heart center and breathe into this. If you need to come down onto your knee, that's okay too. On your next inhale, open your arms into cactus arms or football goalposts, whatever you want to call it. Inhale, close your arms together, bringing your arms together here. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. One more time. Inhale, close. And exhale, open. And go ahead and drop your hands to the mat. So now you're in a low lunge. So your feet are the same. Your hands are supporting you. You can have your fingers tented if you would like. And then plant your hands down and step your left foot back so you're back in a downward dog. I invite you, if you'd like, you can do a connecting vinyasa here. You could come into plank, chaturanga, up dog, and then downward facing dog. You can come into child's pose. You can stay in downward dog. Just take a moment for yourself here to breathe. From downward facing dog, so if you're not in it yet, I invite you to come into downward dog. We're going to step our right foot forward and rise up into high lunge on this side. So now your right foot is forward, your right knee is bent, but it's not coming out over your ankle. You want to be able to see your foot. You're on your back, left toes. Your hips are squared. Release your shoulders if they've come up a little bit. Bringing your hands to heart center. Take a moment here to breathe. You can smile. You're here on this mat, creating this time for yourself. And then go ahead and open your arms into cactus arms again. Pause there for a moment. And then inhale, your arms closed. Exhale, open. Inhale, closed. Exhale, open. Inhale, closed. Exhale, open. One more time. Inhale, closed. Exhale, open, and drop your hands down. You are probably on your fingertips with your fingers tented to support you. You're in this low lunge. Plant your hands down now and step your right foot back into a downward dog. You can help your foot back if you're not able to do it in one step. That is okay. That is where your body is at, and that is okay. Take a pause here. Wiggle anything out if that's what your body is needing right now in this down dog. If you need to come into child's pose, of course, please feel free to do so. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Looking toward the top of your mat, we're going to come up into a forward fold again. So however you want to get there, if you want to step up there, if you need to stand up and walk up, or if you want to hop up, feel free to do that. So meet at the top of our mat, feet hip width apart. Release your upper body into the forward fold. Knees at least slightly bent so we're not locking out our knees. Relax your body. You can even grab onto opposite elbow if you would like. Just creates a little bit more weight. On your next inhale, halfway lift, resting your hands on your shins, flat back, neck straight, parallel to the ground, and you are looking down. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising back up to mountain pose, hands up overhead, and then down to heart center. Pausing for a moment, noticing our breath. Let's go back to that sun breath that we started off with at the beginning of our practice. And just as we continue to integrate our word or our phrase into our body, for our intention, for our day or our week or our season, whatever it is for you. So inhaling up, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back to heart center. 2 more times, inhaling your arms up. Exhale to heart center. Last time, inhale your arms up. Exhale to heart center. And go ahead and step your right foot back. So once again, we are in high lunge on the right foot. As always, feel free to go down to your knee. And we're going to come into our cactus arms again. So opening our arms up. Exhale, close. Open our arms up. Exhale, close. One last time. Open your arms up. Exhale, close. Go ahead and drop your hands down so you're in low lunge. Plant your hands onto the ground, lifting your left leg up to the sky in 3-legged dog. And then lowering your left foot down so you're back in down dog. Again, you can come into connecting vinyasa if you would like. You can come into child's pose. You can stay in downward dog. You can wiggle it out in downward dog. A lot of options for you. We'll meet in downward dog. Looking to the top of our mat, we're going to step our right foot forward and rise up into high lunge on our right side. Coming into cactus arms. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, your arms closed. Exhale, open. Inhale, closed. Exhale, open. Inhale, closed. Exhale, open. One more time. Inhale, closed. Exhale, open. Dropping your hands down. Planting your hands on the ground. Lifting your right foot up to the sky in three-legged dog. And then lowering your foot down into down dog. Taking a pause here, a moment to breathe. And then go ahead and drop your knees down. Swing your feet around. So now we're in seated with our legs extended. Go ahead and wiggle your legs out there. And then bringing our right knee in, giving it a little hug. And then bringing our right foot over our left leg. Wrapping our left arm around our right knee. Placing your right hand behind you and gently looking over your right shoulder. Your left foot is still active and flexed toes pointed upward. Breathing into this. Coming back to center, extending your right foot back out. Give it a little shake again if you'd like. Bringing our left knee in and giving that a little hug. Bringing our left foot over our right leg. Wrapping our right arm around our left leg, planting our left hand behind us, and gently gazing over your left shoulder. Right foot still active, toes flexed. Go ahead and release that. Bringing your left foot back over, shaking that out. Plant your left hand down. Your legs are still active and extended. Plant your left leg down. Bring your right hand up and over just to create this nice stretch along your right side. And then exhale your right hand back down. Inhale your left hand up and over, creating a nice stretch on your left side. Exhale your left hand back down. We're going to just go into a very gentle forward fold. So just releasing your body, letting your back just arch. You don't have to keep it straight. Keeping a nice bend in your knees. If you like, and if it's accessible to you, you can go ahead and grab onto your ankles, onto your feet. You can do peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes. And inhale and exhale and just let your body relax a little bit more. No judgment on how far your fold is. We don't want to overextend our bodies. Inhale again. Exhale, letting your body release and relax a little bit more. And then gently, slowly release that. Gently, slowly bring your body back up to seated with intention, with ease. Scoot forward on your mat. As we come down onto our backs, hug your knees in, rock back and forth, giving our back a little massage. And then go ahead and extend your legs out. Relax your arms next to your body. And just give yourself the gift of this next minute to let your practice, let your intention, let your word or phrase just be more absorbed and integrated into your body. Breathe in. As you exhale, relax even more into the ground that is supporting you and holding you. You don't need to do anything in this moment. Just simply be. If you have more time, I invite you to stay on your mat. Otherwise, wiggle your feet and your toes. Feel free to roll over to one side and make your way up to seated. Once again, bringing your hands to heart center. Thank you for joining me for this practice today. Feel free to come back to it anytime you need some grounding, that you want to set an intention for your day or for your week. Bring in that word or that phrase anytime that you need it. Help it to remind you of this time and space that you've created for yourself. Thank you for joining me. Much gratitude to you.